The most important invention. Dad says that the most important invention in the history of humanity is the vacuum cleaner. While still a bachelor, before he met Mom, he bought one despite not having a carpet. Grandma Maya worried maybe he was strange. Sean, my uncle from Tel Aviv, used to mock Dad and call him weird. Grandma nagged Uncle Sean too. "No, it's about time you married Limor." The two always debate how many cups of flour are used in Grandma's legendary cake. She showed Dad how to make it. With everyone else, she just shared the recipe. Apart from debates over the cake, Uncle Sean likes to tease Dad. "What did you manage to vacuum today?" he would ask. Wherever he goes, Dad finds a vacuum cleaner and the opportunity to demonstrate the marvels of the technology. Julia's cat looked perfectly calm when the hairy nozzle passed along his fur. Smadar and Norman's dog's barks could be heard in the other end of the city. From Josh's mixer, Dad sucked all the cinnamon and also a few tiny cogs. They don't argue as much as before, because I was born after Dad and Mom moved to Vancouver, that is located far away from Israel on the west coast of Canada. Dad says that you can make the cake any way you want, but there's only one way to make it right. Once, when I was younger, I tried to help and most of the flour dropped from the counter to the floor. "Never mind," he said, and continued rolling the dough. As soon as the cake was in the oven, Dad drew the vacuum cleaner from the closet. Before I managed to escape, I heard a roar from the other side of the tube. All of the flour that scattered on the floor and on me disappeared in the hairy mouth of the brush. At the time, I couldn't tell if that was strange or weird. I panicked and ran away. I since overcame the fear. Every time Mom is chasing a dust bunny in the kitchen, I say, "Mom, what do we have a vacuum cleaner for?" Dad nods in agreement, pulls the vacuum out, and declares, as if for the first time, "I'm telling you, the most important invention in the history of humanity is the vacuum cleaner." In our last visit to Israel, Mom, before the debate over Grandma's cake started, managed to ask Uncle Sean, "How many vacuum cleaners does it take to replace a light bulb?" Uncle Sean, in a straight face, managed to utter, "I'm telling you, the most important invention," and they both burst out laughing. I don't like it when Dad is being ridiculed, but he says one needs to learn to laugh at oneself. Then Uncle Sean announced he was coming for a visit. Mom got excited. Dad smiled and nodded. Well, his client is paying. They didn't argue once in the week he was here. I asked Mom if it wasn't strange. Mom said it really was weird. Dad said that it was all thanks to the vacuum cleaner. When Uncle Sean arrived, he said that he visited Grandma Maya's grave. In a mischievous smile, he added that he could imagine her sighing, "No, it's about time." Then he announced that when he gets back home, he would propose to Limor. Mom clutched her palms with excitement. Excited as well, I asked, "What ring are you getting?" Dad said quietly, smiling, "Okay, show us." And indeed, Uncle Sean, all lit up, eyes shining, his long fingers reaching into his shirt's pocket, slowly drew a glimmering gold ring that he purchased the year before. "I want to see," I jumped over Uncle Sean. The ring dropped to the floor and slipped through the grate of the heating system. We could count the silence by the ring sticking through the duct turns and curves. All eyes turned to me, then to Uncle Sean, then to me again, and Sean again, except Dad, who already stood with a vacuum cleaner in his hand, smiling. "No worries," he said. "What do we have a vacuum for?" On the first try, we could hear the ring ticking deeper into the piping. Uncle Sean mumbled, "Without the ring, I have no reason to return to Israel." When he brought another hose from the basement, Dad, a little quieter now, said, "What do we have another vacuum for?" When the ring remained stuck, we could hear Uncle Sean curse. When Dad picked the flexi straw from the cutlery drawer, he said, "Here, your ring is about to come out, like a baby from the womb." I asked quietly, "Is Limor pregnant?" "Not now, please," Mom whispered. A tiny cling could be heard from within the depths, and the roar sounded as if the cleaner itself was excited. Uncle Sean almost wept for joy. In the airport, before Uncle Sean boarded his flight, I saw and for the first time understood that Dad and Uncle Sean were actually brothers. It felt strange, maybe a bit weird, but more than that, I sensed happiness. Sean asked Dad, "Remember when Grandma Maya accidentally installed a plastic bag in the vacuum?" Dad burst in tears and added, "Sure! She too, when I explained to her, agreed that the most important invention Dad started, and we all joined in song."